Our today's topic is very important topic, and it's about conditional statement and its converse. So first we'll discuss about conditional statement. So it's very clear by the name only, conditional statement, that is derived from the word condition. Now any statement which is in the form of if then is said to be what? Conditional statement. We have so many examples like if you work hard then definitely you will success, right, and so on. So we have few more things added to it. The part of a segment which follows if is called as antecedent, which is also known as the given part. The part which follows then is called as what? Consequent, that is the to prove part of a segment. Now we'll understand once again the antecedent and consequent from a given example. Suppose that for an example we say Sita carries umbrella when it rains. Now students, if you look at this problem, you will see that it is not in if-then form. The statement says Sita carries umbrella when it rains. We don't see any if-then form, but if you read the statement and find out its meaning, that Sita carries umbrella only when it rains, that means there is a condition which is there around it, that when it rains Sita carries umbrella. So we need to put the word if and then in between this to make a meaningful statement. And if you put if and then between this, you will find if it rains then Sita carries umbrella. So that is what every time we need to do this. The statement will be given to you and you need to put if and then and make a condition from the given statement. And now we can study about this, what is antecedent and consequent. Now you can see the part which follows if, like it rains, that is the antecedent part, and the part which follows then, that is Sita carries umbrella, becomes your consequent. We will have few more examples to make you understand this in a more better way, right? Let's see that part. So let's see this very problem. For example, the diagonals of rhombus are perpendicular bisector of each other. Precisely, we will not go into the meaning of this, that's the geometric section, and you are not actually introduced the properties of the quadrilateral, but yet we need to do it by understanding the meaning. Diagonals of a rhombus. Rhombus is a kind of a quadrilateral, and it is said its diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other. And now we need to put some conditions into this. So we can go this way, that if the quadrilateral is a rhombus, if a quadrilateral is a rhombus, then its diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other. Perpendicular bisector of each other. Okay students, now we can make the same statement in other way also. Like for an example, if diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other, then the quadrilateral is what? A rhombus. Now if you see students, this time what I did, I actually taken the part which is following then before the part which is following if. Like if diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other, then the quadrilateral is called as then the quadrilateral is called as rhombus. This very change in the form of statement is known as converse. Converse means basically we can say ulta of a segment, that is only the converse. So in a certain statement it may happen that the statement if then form and its converse, like the conditional form and the converse, both can be true. which is what there in our this case. Let's see few more examples so that you can understand it in a better way. Okay students, so here we have another example. The diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. Now once again we know that rectangle is a kind of quadrilateral and its diagonals are what? Congruent. We need to put some condition into that. So we can say if the quadrilateral is rectangle, then its diagonals are congruent. Excellent. So we can write this as heading conditional form, and we can say if a quadrilateral is a rectangle, then its diagonals are congruent. Okay students, and now we'll see its converse. We'll bring both the examples together. Converse, as I told you, while doing the converse of a statement, what we just need to do, just replace the part which is following the then after before the part which is following if. So if you are going to substitute, you will find that after then it is diagonals are congruent. So you need to copy it from here and paste it here. So we'll get if diagonals are congruent, and just copy this part here and paste after then the quadrilateral is a rectangle. Repeating it once again, the whole statement in the conditional form is if a quadrilateral is a rectangle, then its diagonals are congruent. For making converse, that is what ulta of the statement, we need to take the part which is following then before it. So you can get the statement as if diagonals are congruent, if diagonals are congruent, then quadrilateral is a rectangle. We'll have few more examples. Let's see them. With another example, angles in a linear pair are supplementary. So let us see the meaning of this. Angles in a linear pair are supplementary. The angles which are in a linear pair, they are what? Supplementary. That means they are what? 180 degree. So once again we need to frame some condition into this. Like we can say if angles are in a linear pair, then they are what? Supplementary. If angles are in linear pair, then they are supplementary. Okay students, and now we need to make the converse of this very statement. So converse, as I told you earlier, while making the converse, we just copy the part which is following then and we replace it just be after if. So we can see they are supplementary. They means who? Angles. So we can say if angles are supplementary, then they are in linear pair. Repeating, you can just not copy them, right? They are supplementary. So the question arises in the mind, who are supplementary? So the answers, it's about the angles. So if angles are supplementary, then they are in linear pair. If angles are supplementary, then they are in linear pair. Okay students, so hope you have understood the concept of conditional statement and its converse. Thank you very much.